And welcome in, everyone. So we're here with McRaeathon, that's what I was going to say, presents A Blast from the Past 2000. Good start from me. I am your first host for the event. Very proud to be here. I am Dino95HG, and I will be here for the first couple of runs of the event, starting with some Rollcage Stage 2. But just before I hand it over, I'm just going to let you guys know that we do have some incentives that have been opened from the start. So we have Need for Speed Carbon. You can choose the car color. And we also have a war for the Lego Racers where you can get an appearance from Basil the Bat. So when you're donating, don't forget to choose your incentives so you can get your donations put towards those. But without any further ado, let's kick things off. I'm going to hand it over to DigitalDuck for some Rollcage Stage 2. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. So, welcome to McRaeathon. I'm happy to be your first run today. I'm going to show off Rollcage Stage 2. I'm going to give some advance warning. I am not good at this game. But it is genuinely one of my favourite games of all time. So, this is something we're going to do. I'm also going to use the fact that I'm the first one here to stretch my legs a bit as well. So normally a Type 1 campaign would be done on a New Game Plus when you've unlocked everything, but I thought it'd be a bit more interesting if we started from a completely fresh save file, so we're going to get to see lots of different cars as we go. We agreed that the time was going to start when the first race starts, so we're almost starting now. We'll get a short countdown. And 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So this is a PS1 game made in the year 2000. But just scraping through on the early end of the requirements here. It was also made on PC, and the PC is a version that's normally ran, but again, I wanted to pick the original. So you'll notice something strange about these cars straight away, and they can drive on both sides. They can also drive on ceilings and walls. And if I ever actually drive through power up at any point, didn't get a chance to pick those up. Okay. You can also pick up weapons and fire them. Wide variety of weapons. The initial cars, you don't get many, but as things get on, we'll get more weapons. We'll also get faster cars. And we'll get a great variety of basically everything. You'll see the screen turn weird colours and slow down. That is one of the power-ups that another racer is using. We've managed to win the first race. You get a nice animation of showing carnage happening after you win the race, but we're speedrunning, we're skipping all of that. We're going to also skip putting in our high score, we're going to skip all of this, we're going to change our car, because we've just unlocked the Patriot Knight for winning first place. Every time you win first place, so we want to win first as often as possible, not only because it's faster, but also because we get faster cars. We're straight into the second race. This is a city environment, so there are 5 environments in the Type 1 campaign. I'll explain why it's slightly more complicated in a bit, but essentially we've got a... we started off in the Outlawed environment, which is, I think, in the lore is set on Mars. This is the Ventura environment, which is a city area. There's also Harpoon, which is an island. Leviathan is a moon base, something like that, and then Skyway is just a set of roads in space. They all have their own different track layout styles and different features in the environments. They also have destructible environments, so all of these lampposts can be destroyed. These buildings have legs. If you knock down the legs, either by... That's not where we go. If you knock down these legs by either driving into them or firing a rocket at them, like this, they will collapse and explode, and you can cause that to make people behind you spin out. or you could just fire your rockets directly at them. That is an option as well. Finishing the second race, the way the Type 1 campaign is structured, the Type 1 campaign is the beginner campaign. There are 4 leagues, 4 cups, essentially, each with 4 races. The 4th race is a knockout race, so you have to win the first 3 overall, and have the highest number of points in the first 3 races, and then you qualify for the 4th race, which you have to win. This is the Skyway environment. It's probably the most Rollcage one. I think this is the one that people associate with the game the most. It's certainly the one that makes the most use out of the fact that these cars can drive anywhere. You get lots of tight turns, and it's also where the game's scramble mode takes place. Scramble mode is like a challenge mode where you have all sorts of crazy tracks and weird stuff going on. I just got a perfect lap there. If you complete a lap without slowing down, without crashing, without anything like that, you will automatically get weapons as you cross the line. And if you do it twice in a row, you get better weapons. The HUD is flashing red. That's because there is a leader missile heading my way. This is the Rollcage equivalent of blue shell. I've got a shield, so it will just hit me and destroy my shield. Okay. It would have been fine if I didn't drive off the edge stupidly. Where's my... Okay, my controller disconnected, that'll be why. We're back. So the leader missile will fly ahead of you and then turn around and smash into you to try and knock you backwards. Shield will counter it. You can also fire a rocket at it as it goes in front of you, or if you've got a really fast car, you can just outrun it. You do have to drive absolutely perfectly to outrun them though. So after 3 races, we are first. So we've reached the qualifying stage. I'm going to change to the Patriot Nemesis, which is a bit faster that we've unlocked. I did unlock the Unity Panther after winning the second race, but that is slower than the car I was already using, so I didn't change. This race is a knockout race, which means it's 4 laps rather than 3. All of the normal races in Type 1 campaign are 3 laps, and they increase to 4 laps in the Type 2 and 5 laps in the Masters. Type 1 is sort of the beginner level. Everything's a lot easier, which is why I'm doing it, because I'm bad at the game. And you don't get the 6th type of 6th environment in Type 1 campaign. It ends after 4 cups, but there is a 5th Aurora League in Type 2 and Masters, which takes place in the Jump Gate environment, which is a space station, and it has definitely the craziest and hardest tracks. I forgot what I was going to say after doing that. Yeah, the knockout environments, the knockout tracks are always all the laps. Because we've got 5 races, you knock out one race for every lap. If you're the last person across the line, you lose. You have to try again. You'll notice that in the top right there is a tiny picture of a car and a ×3. That is essentially 3 lives. You get an extra life every time you win a race. So coming first not only unlocks new cars, but it also gives you eyes at the mission part. These also carry over, so if I come first here, which I hope to, and if I win 3 races in the second league, I will have 6 lives 6 attempts at the second elimination. That's the first league done. Hopefully we've now got access to a lot more weapons so I can start talking about those again. We've unlocked the subsonic cutter. I'm going to not use it because it's probably one of the worst cars in the game. We do generally make it so the later cars are better than the earlier ones, but there are some which are just not very good. Too difficult to control or ball handling. Oh, there's also these blue speed up pads I haven't mentioned yet. They just improve your acceleration temporarily. Sometimes they're useful. It's always good to avoid them if you can. This lightning that I've got out of the wheels, this is a disruptor type item. If you manage to drive past somebody and hit their tyres, the spikes, it will actually cause their tyres to freeze up and it will make them spin out of control. This drill thing is called the driller, and it will travel in a straight line and barge through everything it hits, including environmental objects. It's this game's equivalent of the green shell, whereas the standard rocket is this game's equivalent of the red shell. Picked up an explosion there but didn't get the chance to use it. I have used it a few times this run already. It is just a big bomb, basically. It doesn't affect any weapons, it only affects cars. So you can't use it to protect yourself against the leader missile. Let's have the Viper. We're driving the Viper now. You can only use projectiles to protect yourself against the leader missile, or you can just outrun it or the field. So there is a shortcut on this track. If you go all the way to the left around here, you can take a exit in that wall. I find that if I try and do that, I usually end up crashing during it, so I avoid it. It's not that much faster. If you're not me, you want to do it. Let's see if we can outrun this. Probably not. I don't think we've got the fast enough cars yet. Especially not after that. So there I managed to survive it. I think it just landed behind me, so it didn't really affect much. I think it missed. One of the fun things you can do in this game, if you have the rockets, the homing missiles, you can just point yourself at a wall, and if you time the missile right, you can propel yourself off in some direction at really high speeds. Sometimes I use it for speed boosts. It is kind of risky though. Power Surge is an interesting race here because there is, I don't know, some sort of weird quirk with the way the progression is done here. You shoot yourself off here, you can actually skip a portion of the level. I should do that first time. If you don't have a boost, you have to take the slower routes, and it's actually a bit harder because it's not as generous. Also, okay, that would have counted if I'd fallen off. Let me show you what happens if you don't throw yourself off. So, if you don't actually deliberately fall off the level here, you actually end up having to do the lap again. It doesn't count the lap. So what you want to do is do here and fall off, and then they'll automatically put you forwards, and then they'll count the lap.
Do I have time for a few messages?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Fantastic, fantastic. We have £5 from Infinity Gene saying, good luck to all of the runners this event. I honestly should start learning a racing game or two myself. I mean, I have a provisional license, so I should be good to go, right? Absolutely, Virginia. You should pick up a racing game. I should do that myself as well. And that does go towards picking a car color for the Need for Speed Carbon Run, choosing the white option for the car color. So thank you for that donation there, Infinity Gene. We also have £54 from our friends over at NSG, saying just a little boost from your friends over at NSG. Couldn't help but to make the total nice. Best of luck throughout the weekend. And that goes towards a couple of our incentives. So we have Lego Racers. The Basil the Bat appearance has been met. So we will be seeing Basil the Bat during the Lego Racers run a little bit later on. And also that goes towards choosing the red color option of the Need for Speed Carbon Run. But thank you for the donations and keep them coming. And yeah, don't forget to get them towards the incentives. Thank you very much.
Nice. So yeah, I suppose the only thing I haven't mentioned yet is the fact you can power up weapons. So just because you pick up a weapon and it's not something you necessarily want, that's not the end of it. You can hold on to it and hope you pick up a second copy of that weapon. And if you do that, you will power up. And for most of them, it's just it's a more powerful variant. But in the case of the Lightning Beam one, it actually gives you a turbo on top of it. So that's a very good one to hold on to and power up. But for the things like the rockets and the drills and such, it just gives you two that you can fire at the same time. Hugely beneficial. This is another track with a shortcut that I don't take. Because again, usually I spin out on the exit and then that makes it slower. That was me trying to use the rocket for a boost. It didn't turn out too well. This is the machine gun. I haven't mentioned the machine gun yet. So every single bullet slows down a car slightly if you hit it. And if you hit them with a whole bunch of bullets in a row, you can make them spin out. The powered up version allows you to fire backwards, but the regular version doesn't. That's another thing that the powered up versions often have in common as well. Most of these you can only fire forwards without powering up. The two weapons I just had there, we've got the force field. You drive into another car, it sends them flying into the air. Powered up version adds a tractor beam to that. And the other weapon is the I think it's called the stasis laser. It's a very, very precise weapon. You have to hit. It fires in a straight line with a tiny, tiny radius. But if it hits a car, it will freeze them in place for about 5 seconds. It's a really powerful weapon, and also if you've got like 4 cars in a line, you can shoot through all 4 of them. But there's no homing at all. So the Helix got the boost there. That's not quite what I wanted, but I will take it. I found another skip on this that I haven't seen any documented, but probably because it's slower. But you can drive through the billboard on this section just here. Billboard, this black and white thing here. You can drive behind it and go out of bounds, and then you have to do sort of this weird back and forward thing to reset your position. It's slower than just driving the track normally, but if you crash, it's faster than you crash and do it normally, if that makes sense. I'm not going to do it though, because like I say, it's not actually faster. There is a PC version of this game, as mentioned before. It does look quite different. It's got different different lighting, different graphics, different UI. It almost feels like a different game. If you compare, it's probably similar to Driver PS1 versus Driver PC, I would say. On top of everything I've mentioned so far, there's also a bunch of other modes. So there's a demolition mode. I think this is one of the tracks on the demolition mode, I'm not sure. But there's a subset of tracks, and you just have to drive around and destroy everything. Those are usually good fun. You can also do that 2-player. This game has quite a lot of 2-player modes actually. Obviously you've got the regular races as well. There's a Rebel Soccer mode, which is Rocket League long before Rocket League, where you have a rock, a stadium, or score it in the goal. Having weapons makes it quite a bit more interesting, because you can fire bills at the ball from a long distance if you pick one up. I don't think what other modes are there. There's an all tracks mode, which sits alongside the time trial mode. So time trials, what you expect, but all tracks, you do exactly one lap of every track in the game, all in a row. And then you save your time for all of those. You can also unlock staff ghosts. I think you have to complete the Type 2 campaign in mirror mode to do that. Yeah, there's quite a lot of content in the game. And also, even in the campaign mode, so I'm playing this in classic mode, which is just cross the finish line first, but there is a total racing mode where you get points for destroying objects and destroying other cars and doing clean laps, similar to the kudos system in BGR. And then your goal is to finish with the highest number of points. Coming first is important. It does give you a big boost of points. You can also just cause a load of mayhem and destruction and win that way instead. This is another track with a shortcut that I don't take. I would take this on a higher difficulty. I can do it reasonably well. these gates on the left there, there is a path through there. It's just a bit annoying to take. That's one I really should be taking. And I would be taking that on a higher difficulty. So I think this is the first Vostok car I'm using. There's 5 brands. There's Subsonic, Vostok, Richter, Unity, and Patriot. And I think they're kind of designed to be like 5 continents or areas. Like, I think Richter is supposed to be the UK one, Unity is sort of the European one. Patriot is the American one. Vostok is the Russian one. Subsonic is the Japanese one. But obviously they're entirely fictional. This is kind of set in some weird future where this is considered normal. I don't I actually wonder if anyone's worked out the scale of this yet, because you might look at this and think these cars are like a metre tall. But there are pictures and some of the cutscenes from the first game. These cars are about 5 meters tall. There are people standing beside the wheels and they don't even come up to the halfway mark. These are actually massive cars. One weapon we haven't seen, I'm hoping that we never will, is the wormhole. It's the only weapon that was in the first game that works dramatically different second. Basically, if you get the wormhole, you can open up a portal in front of you. And then, once it's ready and you drive through it, it will teleport you to the racer in front of you. Whoever's next, like if you're in 4th place, it will drop you in front of the person in 3rd. The problem with that, first of all, is if you're the person in 3rd and a car just suddenly appears in front of you, you're not going to be too pleased. And I'm especially not very pleased when I'm in 1st place and about 20 meters away from finishing the race, and then a car suddenly appears in front of me. But what makes it worse is that the wormhole stays open for a while, and so anybody behind tailgating can also go through the wormhole and appear in front of the car that last passed through the wormhole. And so that means you can be driving along in 1st place and then just have the entire rest of the race appear in front of you 1 second before crossing the finish line. And I'd like to say that that doesn't happen, but it has. Thankfully it is very rare, and you can counteract it with weapons. On the higher difficulties, I usually hold on to a force field and a machine gun if I can. Because what you can do is, as soon as you see the car appear, force field time. Everyone who uses that wormhole gets propelled into space, as they rightly deserve. Right, we are in the last league. We've got a few races left to go. This is the last Outworld track, and it's probably my favourite. This is one they really went to town with the destructible environments on. If you ever just sit and watch a replay of a race on this track, especially on a longer race on the Masters Cup, all you see in the replay is things falling, collapsing, being destroyed, exploding. It's great. It's less so on the beginner and intermediate categories. You've also got these weird blue things on the electric blue things on the right. You can drive through them and cause explosions there, but I'm not sure why you would, because they're so far out of your way that no one goes near them anyway. The only person that's going to catch is somebody else who tries to drive through them. I missed that entrance entirely. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Oh, okay. When I said I'm not good at this game, I wasn't joking. Alright, the Unity Black Widow. I think this is the first time we use a Unity car in a run. The best car in the game is probably, well, it's no probably about it, it's the Unity Genesis. But you can't unlock that until you beat the Type 2 campaign. So normally, the way the Type 1 campaign run would be, you've already beaten the game, you've got all of the cars. You pick the Unity Genesis, you use that for every race. There is no reason to use any other car. The only exception is if you struggle to control it, because it is quite difficult to control. But then you've got the Vostok Scorpion instead, which is basically the easy to control version. As I said, we're actually starting this from a fresh new game, so we've got the different cars to show off. So we're on to our final race of today. That's the Vostok Scorpion you just mentioned. We're going to use that for our final race. This one is probably my favourite track in the game. Is basically like the culmination of everything. I'm also going to take the shortcut on this because it's just far too beneficial. You can drive upside down to get up to here. This takes you through a little tunnel which skips about a quarter of the track. It's a few seconds faster. You can also drive on this ceiling here to get a few more speed boosts. So this is the track that really uses the way the game works. So time is coming up in about a minute. It will be when we cross the finish line for lap 4. See, that was a wormhole right there. The car just appeared in front of me. I didn't have a force field, although I did almost hit him. Actually, did I hit him with the stasis beam? I think I did. Didn't mean to. I was just firing him to get rid of him. Right, final lap. That was almost a miss. And across the line. So I'll show off what happens normally when you finish and you don't skip. You get this little replay style thing of just everything else happening. It's not quite the same in the knockout because it's just me left. Yeah, but that was my best go at Rollcage Stage 2. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll take you back over to the host.
Thank you very much for the run there, Digital. That was really good fun to watch. Some interesting strats in there as well. Like skipping most of the track was very cool to see as well. But yeah, that was the first run of the event, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Right at the end of that run, we did actually get another donation. So we had £31 from Summer saying, "Have fun for charity." We certainly will, Summer. And that again goes towards choosing the car color for the Need for Speed. This time going for green. So green takes the lead actually now with £31 towards green. Red has £29, white has £5. So you've still got the next run to keep your donations coming in for that color choice for the Need for Speed Carbon. Before we head over to our intermission, where can people find you, Digital? Where can we see you?
Yeah, I'm twitch.tv/DigitalDuck is usually the best place to go. I'm always streaming something weird. That's it. Absolutely fair, no worries. I should also mention as well that donation took us to £100 as well. So we've hit the first sort of milestone, £100 is there. But we're going to go to a short intermission where we'll be right back with some Monster Racer. See you shortly.